I know I haven't shied away from since I've been understanding that I'm performing these gospels after being exposed to Fort Huachuca was my prayers with Muhammad was, Earl, you should be yourself. Because God gave you life, and you shouldn't be anybody but you. You're not required to be what other people, especially selfish people, try to demand of you. All right, you're required to be the loving, compassionate, kind, courageous person you've been your whole life. The guy who stands up to the biker, and all the things that I've been through in my life that people, I guess, uh, I don't go looking for praise, and I don't go looking to be a hero. I just want to be. You ever heard that song? All I want to do, friends, is baby. All I want to do, baby, is baby be friends with you. Right? I'm just that type of person, and I'm not looking for conflict. I just want to have a good time, be friends, loved, stuff. And so all this insecure superficiality of abuse and selfishness and obsession and crazy shit. I was watching this TV show called Dark Winds with the German lady that's obsessed with Joe Lepar and all this stuff. And it's a lot like Bed of Roses by the Statler Brothers. It's kind of like people sit down and they have this obsession and this egotistical perception when they have a conflict, and they want to be better. In the next episode, you're way out of your league. This white guy in jail who's a big time thug, he's saying to leap for him with this German lady, right? And when people are selfish, they have very little to lose, as people would perceive it, right? If you have what they perceive as attachments, they can abuse you. It's like, yeah, you can, and you can abuse the people that they perceive as attachments. I did my whole life. What they did with my mom's cancer and other things and subsequent series of events, and they try to make it very difficult to for you to have relationships with. If you have real good relationships with people, they kill them, and if you have strained relationships with people, they make you feel as if the people you have strained relationships with in your life are the cause of you're not having the person you had real good relationships with. Okay, do you understand? That's how these sociopaths work. And I was unaware of it because I'm not a sociopath. What's going on here? I mean, it was becoming evident to me, and it did stir up emotions in me that were like, oh, this sucks, right? And it needs to stop. So, like I told them when Lim Allen talked to me, what's Obama got to do? Well, he's got to stand for the Lord's Prayer. It's not time yet. That's the wrong answer. It's the wrong answer, right? They had this show on that's accidentally recording because I was trying to keep the news thing recording. It's a show called Entertainment Tonight. And this gentleman that I addressed earlier in a video, Jason Momoa, talking about, how horrible things are in Hawaii. And it's like, yeah, they are. And they've been horrible for a long time, especially for Hawaiians. Okay. And they get worse, okay, because of economic conflict and tribalism. And the only way to stop that from happening for Hawaiians and for Hawaii to be a traditional home to Hawaiians is to stand up for the Lord's Prayer, right? And if you don't do that, you're going to keep bitching about, how you're going to use money and try to make money to get you can't get your ancestral homes back for your families, which are still alive and living in Nevada and California and Utah. Okay. It's just not right for Polynesians to be living in Utah. It's cold as fuck. Okay. Polynesians are island people, right? That must be like, God, it must be horrible. I kind of understand it. Being raised in a desert, I always wanted to be in the mountains, and we would go up to the Cradle and the Crowcroft and the Hymn of the Mountain Gods, the sponsor for the Aggies. We'd always go up there, and I would always feel at home up there. Okay, and you got to understand, my grandma's a Kramer, which means the consistent male patterns of reproduction through the women of my family. Ba-na-na-na-na, bum 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 bum. Okay. And Austro-Hungarian border and stuff. So you're talking about like a Bavarian Alps type kiddo. Okay. High on the hill was a lonely goat herd. I'm the lonely goat herd, right? Yoledi, oledi, ole. Jean, Jean, roses are red. Right. And so Herschel Steinschneider, the woman that he was most in love with was a woman from she was a darker woman. She's very pretty. Oh yeah, she's gorgeous. The one that Hitler used to set up to kill him. It's quite sad. Yeah. We all know that Herschel Steinschneider had lost his way. It's in the Book of Daniel, and that I. A lot of you judge Hirschman, and Hirschman is, he's lost and he's murdered, but the reason why he got murdered is because he stayed around in Germany trying to protect Jews and homosexuals from extermination. Okay. And a woman that he loved very much that was trapped in industry, and it was horrible. And it's Herschel's a tough connection. There's a lot of things. It's hard to get through to him and talk to him in prayer because he's always so busy being a psychic for to try. He wasn't doing it to mingle with the stars or be Dr. Zodiac. He was doing it to try to protect people from the viciousness of economic conflict. Okay. Now the Jews had foreign assets when the good guys of World War I called in the dead on all the Germans. Okay, who were trying to store their legacy, who were fighting to have their legacy with the British and and all the other assholes, right? And trying to single out the Germans as the worst assholes in the history of assholes is fundamentally wrong. Okay. There are good German people, Mr. Conway. Franzi, get the boys, it's Oktoberfest, get the boys a beer, right? Total sweetheart. Oh, he was very good. Mr. Conway was a sweetheart. He was okay, there are British dads and German and Mexican dads. It's a quinceañera, get the boys a beer. I'm only 12 years old, Mr. Garcia. It's funny, it happens. Get blunted, so. And so some families and some dads, some cultures, okay. And, so, you met Mr. Conway was a wonderful guy. I adored him. Franzi? That's how he said Franz's name. Franzi. Yeah. Franz was always a sweet kid. And even when we went to high school, he was still a sweet guy. Franz Conway, he never met a nicer guy. I love Franz so much. Yeah. 6'7". I think he grew to 6'9". Yeah. Franz Conway. I wonder if he got a basketball scholarship. I don't know. You'd think he would have, even if it was to a smaller college, just to play and have fun and just to be on the team. Good kid. Yeah, really nice person. Yeah. He's a good basketball player. He was a good basketball player. Okay. He was good. He had good post moves, good efficient, like to box out and stuff. Not the most athletic, but went out there, good effort, good teammate. Gerald and Franz both liked each other very much. There was no, because one would be the backup center and the starting center and stuff. There was no hate. Franz's biggest fan was Gerald's biggest fan was Franz. When they fouled Gerald out in our JV game, and all the people we fouled him out and stuff. Gerald, And me and Waylon and Franz were on the bench. We were the biggest cheerleaders. That was our dog, man. Some of the guys could be a little shitty. They were the ones, oh, you suck. And I was like, you know I don't suck. I can whoop your ass. I whoop your ass every day in practice. What do you mean I suck? You can't stop me. Earl, I wasn't like that, though. No. I played and practiced with good energy and really, because I knew when you're practicing to make sure that your teammates, like, and this was before Link, whoop my ass. I want to get really good. And so I wanted to make sure that my teammates could play and could play against really good. So I always tried my heart best. Now, not to get myself over excessive, but, make sure because you got to make sure they're good, that they're playing good, that they're playing to the best of their abilities. And so you want your teammates to, you make sure that they can do what they got to do, and they, like I said to Teresa, Carter and Jackson and Branch ain't gonna, just run to the corner and okay, you trapped me, 10-second call, 5 seconds. They're gonna come at you with all they got, with their talent and their speed. And so you can't expect these kids to just, roll over Beethoven, tell Tchaikovsky the news, So it's interesting to me. I don't understand coaches. Well, the reason why I don't understand coaches is because they're philanthropists and I'm not a philanthropist. I'm like King David. I'm like Moses. I like Samson and Joseph and Daniel, So I want people to, if I don't teach you how to do this, and you're all here all by yourself with the flock because we have to do something else and a bear comes up, I need to know that you can handle yourself and keep your calm and not get killed by the bear, and be able to use your slingshot, keep your cool, aim, and if a pack of wolves comes, you'll be all right. I ain't always going to be here, and if I leave here tomorrow, if they poison me or murder me or kill me, you're still going to have to be able to protect the flock from the Philistines and protect yourself from being a Philistine. So you got to understand eternity and how gracious Good Shepherd is and just how beautiful he is. And he will not make TV shows for money to pay the devil for his family to live here, right? So it's very important that you understand how perfect and how beautiful Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. is compared to your imagination. You cannot replace a living Messiah with a cartoon character that isn't alive, that doesn't resist temptation, that doesn't dive into the bowels of hell and protect children from home invasion through linguistics and ink stains that are forgotten words and funds and ink stains that are dried upon some line, right? There's no way in heaven that the Supreme Court, the Pentagon, Special Forces, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, and Selective Service, and XXX can replace the beauty of a living, gracious Good Shepherd who they attacked to try to bring down his righteousness. And you know what I'm saying? You can't take my life story and replace it with one of your fucked up TV shows and movies and one of the top tech companies, which is home invading perverts, and then keep making movies about, you're something with a dildo attached to your head. It's like, just either stand up for a Lord's Prayer or lay down and let the dirt just shower over you. I got to be myself. And Muhammad said that. Okay? And I'm using technology to protect people with technology from technology. But I know I cannot protect people from themselves. But I can, go to sleep, take on the attacks from the cyber perverts, wake up in the morning, kick their ass with the technology, using technology to protect people from technology with a technology, but cannot protect them from self. So if they sit there and say, I'm Jesus, the God in my head, invented by Constantine and Jerome, and if you don't believe that I am Jesus, the God in my head, invented by Constantine and Jerome, you will go to an evil place where I torture you eternally in my head for 30 minutes before my brain shuts down after dying in a hotel or a hospice. You see what I'm saying? If you didn't get a bullet straight to the head, where the brain stops functioning because you got shot like Sonny or whatever, the guy who didn't die on Darkwind's yesterday evening, right? Carol, you know what I'm saying? That kid didn't really die. The little actor who's yelling at, what's his name again? Kiowa, something, yeah, the kid playing Jim Chi that ain't Jim Chi, but pretending to be Chi Chi and Mike Garcia at the same time. Okay. And Bernie Manuelito and Deanna Allison sitting there talking about how you instead of just being a officer, you could be the lieutenant, and I wanted to be a nurse, and I should be the doctor. Forgive debt and trespass, love home, eternal, faithful peace. And then, okay, if you need to do a ceremony because you went into a Def Hogan, you can go do that because you have plenty of time to do it because you're not being extorted and or exploited. And you don't have to bring a lot of tobacco and money for the old guy who does a sand painting who thinks he's going to help cure you from toxins and disease from uranium mining because you need money for the casino at the end of the Mountain Gods in order to have a corporate sponsor for your uniforms, right? Son of a bitch, we suck again. You getting the submarine messages from the voice of George Walker Bush there, getting the submarine messages. Go to the casino, bet all your money on black, and Wesley Snipes will come and save you as Blade. I gotta be myself. Mom said I could, and I trust him. Yeah. So he sits there, are you being obnoxious? No, they're obnoxious. I have, what is it? I'm witty. That's the proper word for it. I'm witty. Yeah, there it is. Very witty. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Well, I deserve to be witty. I'm faithful, righteous. My life story is in the book of Revelation. It's also mentioned, the spirit of John in the Mormon adaptation of the Gospels that was horrifically changed by the people that betrayed Joseph Smith to turn it into an espionage corp, or the church into an espionage corporation. The Bigfoot Clinic, it shows all those bodies and those birth defects, and they make money off of advertising with all those people with defects and birth defects and things that happen to their body because we're living in a toxic environment because we're not living in the Lord's Prayer. How do you stand yourselves? Don't you want to go just kill the liar in your head so you can live the Lord's Prayer and people can be healthier overnight? Just like that? Better than a blessing way. No, a blessing way was a sand painting was to give you a vision. Okay? You were out of balance this way, and here's how we used to be in balance. And let's see if we can do this again. And that's basically a blessing way. I'm not giving away any ancient tribal secrets or ancient Chinese secrets for cleaning laundry and shit like that. And it's actually some kind of chemical from a chemical company that, you remember those little commercials? Okay, ancient Chinese secret, huh? Okay, you understand? So what about how do you do that? Well, you're soaking in it right now. Dishwashing liquid? It's okay. Do you understand? Stupid commercials. There you go. Okay, just because people believe in mythology doesn't mean the mythology holds water. Okay? So when you have a blessing way, it's to get in there and reconnect to the balance and harmony of your ancestors. Do you understand? You're not doing that. You're advertising and making money in Los Angeles for a bunch of assholes who head fuck people by investing in the top tech companies. Trust me. Trust me. I love you. Trust me. I need you. Trust me. I want to trust you, baby. Right? Do you understand? Let us challenge the inner Keith Elam to get the guru going to get us out of everybody's wallet because wallets aren't real, but life is. Okay? Do you understand? I gotta be me. Okay. I'm sitting there going, it's like, just focus on faithful prayer, focus on helping people through this daily grind of hell of debt and trespass, okay? And believe that tomorrow morning we could wake up and use technology to circulate 13, 20-second me and be living the Lord's Prayer by lunchtime or dinner. And if you can't believe that, you're just a selfish, mean, narcissistic asshole. I was going to say self-centered, but we already said selfish. And so, yeah. Okay. And then you have all those videos. You're not antisocial, you're anti-narcissist. Okay, let's just live the Lord's Prayer, and then I won't have to use the word narcissist to have people watch my videos to talk about narcissist, because narcissists have a big bank account and need people to pay attention to their bank accounts, right? We're advertising and selling products. Okay, let's stop doing that. Let's just live the Lord's Prayer. Okay, like and subscribe. I will tell you how to live with narcissists. You can't live with narcissists. How do you even live with yourselves? Okay, do you understand? No. You can't live with a narcissist. What is a narcissist? A label of a human being that you perceive as a narcissist because you're accepting your label and then giving them a label. Look, they're not a narcissist. It's a human being, okay, that you're labeling because you're in competition of abuse over selfish behaviors, and then they call them a narcissist. Okay, so what does that make you? A person trying to make money to pay extortion to live here? Okay, narcissists. You're obnoxious. I know I am. I'm protecting people with technology from technology, but I can't protect people from themselves. Okay, how are you feeling? Alrighty then. You can help people protect themselves from themselves by using technology. Yes, you make a video, and then if people watch it, and the people that use technology to manipulate people with technology with money, for money and whatever, okay, could be watching it and go, damn, he's right, it's finally hitting. Whoa, what's happening? Okay, so, so people that use technology to manipulate people with money could be watching this video as soon as it loads on YouTube, which is probably in about another 30 minutes after I make it here, and then go, holy shit, he's right. Let's protect people from technology with technology by protecting ourselves from ourselves. Wow, Ralph Earl Parsons Jr., I love you. Thank you. I love you too. Okay, what is inside my head? I'm screaming, it's about fucking time. But you love me back. This man, he love you. Why for you not love him back, right? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. It's the episode on the TV. It's the episode where Sheldon goes to Princeton to propose to Amy Farrah Fowler. So he goes from one part of the studio in Burbank to the other part of the studio, right? But he's pretending to have gotten on a plane and flown all the way from Altadena. Is it Altadena? Altadena, Pasadena. Okay, but isn't the airport like in Anaheim? I think so. Okay, from Anaheim to New Jersey. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Switch it to the news here. Watch the weather for one more time there. Down. Before I go to bed. Okay. So, please be calm. Please be a good person. Please stop wanting to have a career. Because careers are a colossal waste of time. Okay, because you forgive that and trespass. And love one another in eternal faithful peace. Share, care, give in accordance to need, built to last. Careers are a colossal waste of time. Building technology and equipment to fuck with people's heads to say you can have a career, you can dream, okay? And you can have all the things you wanted. You can have a life, a family, and a career too. Okay, a career is a colossal waste of time because money isn't real, and fucking hit people in the head over money with technology is insane, Crazy Eddie. Okay, so new meta data center, site considerations and building designs. People are going to talk about it. We need a new meta data center. New meta data center. What's a new meta data center? Hey, that rhymes. New meta data center. We need a new meta data center. New meta. Okay, we can make a song to that. New meta data center. New data center. What's a new meta? New meta data center. New meta data center. You know, it's going to use almost all your water that you need for your kids and your pets. What about and the bighorn sheep you guys put loose in the mountains out there about 2 or 3 years ago? They're going to need the water too, but we need jobs. What did I just say about the whole fucking career thing? You know what the fucking first profession is? Prostitution and intoxication, and some say there's no God. It's a mad, mad world we're living in. We're living in a sad, sad world we're living in. I dropped out of Arizona State University my senior year because economics is genocidal, and I was a history major, and no one was learning the lesson. I had to figure it out all by myself. Because, the whole thing, it wasn't that Jesus was abandoning me. It's just like, let's see how, I was he's Crush, and I was the little, cuckoo, cuckoo. Let's see how he goes science solo. And then what happened? I had to go find Dory, and she has Guy Pearce problems from Memento. Yeah, man. And I'm being silly, but you know what I mean? I'm just making this up as I go along, as far as the narrative to be silly. But the truth of if it adds up, accept it. If it doesn't, reject it. Money's not real, but the Lord's Prayer is perfect. Okay, see, that's what I'm doing. Isn't it entertaining? Are you not entertained? I'm not trying to get a canopy award. It gets hot out here. What do you want? A canopy award. Oh, that sounds good. Let's stay under the canopy. It's hot out here. What's a canopy? They're irrigating. We're going to have leaves on the trees. That's our canopy award. You're funny. I'm going to go to bed, y'all. We'll talk in the morning. Pray the Lord's Prayer. Pray to be living it. If not by breakfast, sooner than that. Well, on the other side of the world, it's sunrise. Maybe in China, they're being better people, and in the land of Japan, maybe in Japan, hey, the Messiah's in New Mexico. Let's live the Lord's Prayer. Okay. Well, kwarimasu. Hey. Okay. I love you guys, all right? Peace out, man.